assistance. They assured him that there was no danger and they would be there watching over and be very careful, and that this soul was ready to be released and needed just a bit of help from a human kind of energy that he could recognize to be able to do this. And so through Rosalind, Patrick came through, and Patrick turned out to be a sailor who died on a ship over 100 years before the experience, and still didn't realize that he was dead.
Mm-hmm.
And so with the help of Monroe through Rosie, Patrick was able to be released and taken to the light by his parents and guides, who now could reach him, because what seems to happen is that there's not millions of them, but people who die in tragic experiences sometimes get stuck and don't realize that they're dead, or for some reason are still connected to earth energy. And the energy, our earth energy, is easier for them to associate with than the energy of their guides. They often don't even realize that they're there.
Okay.
And this is kind of what happened to Patrick. So through Rosie, Robert Monroe was able to help Patrick go on. And we actually have a course called Lifeline where we learn to do this soul rescue work. And one of the projects that we put together yesterday and today is to actually go into that state of consciousness at 11 o'clock tonight and tomorrow night and the next night and try to help these souls. There are probably many, many, many who need assistance.
Hmm.
And what's so beautiful about this is you can do it from anywhere in the world. You can sit down in your living room and just sort of go into a meditation for half an hour and really be able to feel a part of our world and be able to help from here on the other side of the planet. Of course, in our case, if you have worked in what we call Focus 27 and Focus 23 and done this work, it makes it much easier, because in Gateway, in the first level, we do Focus 10, 12, 15, 21, and healing, which is another really interesting thing that we'll probably be using also with the survivors of this huge tragedy.
We have like 15 minutes left of the interview, and I'm looking at a few pictures here from Spain, from your place. Is it a private property, or is it like a center? What is it?
No, it's actually a very small rural hotel.
Okay.
For a while I did have my own center, but I found that trying to keep a center going is so much work, and it wasn't really the kind of work I wanted to do, that it just works much better with somebody else's hotel, but that we use regularly. And this hotel was a very special place. I mean, apart from the fact that the rooms are very comfortable and large, and that the owners are just lovely people, and the owners actually know about this kind of work. It's a small hotel. I rent the whole thing just for us. So we have a maximum, but we don't even usually have that many, but the maximum is 14 participants.
Is it called Buenaventura?
Yes.
And that means what?
Good ventures.
Oh, that's a good place then.
Yeah, it really is. It's far from the madding crowd. It's out in the country, close to a little village called Buenaventura, but it's at the same time isolated enough that there's no one around to bother us. The whole hotel is for us while we're there.
So I guess a lot of people listening to this are interested in the courses that you are going to have this summer of 2008. Can you tell us a little about your common courses?
We have, in Spain now, we have 3 levels in English, also 3 in Spanish. And in the first one is the Gateway program that we've kind of been talking about mostly here, where we actually move into 5 different levels of consciousness and work in each one and have guided exercises. We have a total of about 25 exercises throughout the week. And we listen to the exercise and take our notes, and then we usually have a session where we share experiences, because one of the most important things about all of this, because you can do some of this work at home on your own. They do sell certain CDs that you can at least get started. But having other people there that have similar kind of experiences, having a group energy, having a trainer who's had experience with all of this, all of it makes the experience much deeper than working on your own. A second level is the Lifeline course, which is the one about soul rescue work, but it's not only about rescuing other lost souls. A lot of it is about rescuing parts of ourselves that have somehow gotten lost, either from this lifetime or maybe previous ones. Sometimes it seems almost like past life kind of work, but sometimes it's even things from this life, but it's similar to what the shamans do as they look for lost parts of self. It's kind of long and complicated to explain, but Monroe talks about our I there. And our I there is that the total aspects of ourselves of which we are one part that form a whole. And we are the part that right now is physically incarnated and have a physical body. But we form part of a larger group that he calls our I there. Seth called it the Oversoul. And different aspects of that I there in different experiences, both here on Earth and maybe even in other places, could have gotten stuck the same way Patrick did, or could have had some experiences that didn't get completed properly. And as we work with that, people often actually relive experiences that at least seem to be part of their I there and past lives. Sometimes it even has something to do with some other participant who might be in the groups.
And do you have a website that listeners can go into?
Yes, I do. It's www.biotono. It's biotono.es.
Biotono.es.
Yes.
I'm sure a lot of people here in Sweden and abroad will enter your website and read more about your work and your courses. All right, this was a really interesting interview. You did a lot of speaking and you had a lot to say. I didn't.
When you're passionate about something, you can't shut up.
I didn't need to ask many questions. It wasn't necessary.
Well, hopefully someday we'll see you in Spain also.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm sure. Okay. Thank you very much, Carol Sabic from the Monroe Institute in Spain. She's the representative of the Monroe Institute in Europe. And thank you for tonight. This is Soul Travel Magazine. And come back to the website soultravel.se and listen to more interviews in the future. Thank you very much.